Imagine working an 8-hour shift where you are never allowed to sit down. Your feet ache, your knees lock up, and by the end of the day, your lower back is in a knot. For many retail and factory workers, standing all day is a painful daily reality. Recently, lawmakers in Mexico addressed this by advancing a labor reform known as the Ley Silla, or the chair law. These new rules require companies to provide seating and mandatory rest periods for their employees. If you run a small corner store, following this rule is easy. You just buy a stool for your cashier. But for a corporation with 500 locations, ensuring every single worker gets a chair is a complex operational puzzle. If one middle manager ignores the law to hit a budget target, the fallout hits the entire corporation. That single oversight exposes the whole company to lawsuits and heavy government fines. A single email from the CEO won't prevent this. Large organizations need a mechanical way to ensure rules on paper actually turn into action on the ground. To survive at this scale, a business must build an internal immune system. This system has two vital parts: corporate governance and compliance. Think of corporate governance as the brain of the company. This is the top level of leadership, where the big decisions are made about the company's identity and its values. In the past, companies were often run by a single boss who ruled by gut feeling. Modern risks require institutionalization, a board of directors sharing the responsibility. This group establishes rules, mandates ethical behavior, and sets structural standards everyone must follow, from executives to the newest hire. By putting these structures in place, the company secures its future. The business can remain stable even if a founder leaves or a new manager arrives with conflicting ideas. But the brain only sets the direction. It might decide the company will follow the new seating laws, but it needs a way to move the rest of the body. That is where compliance comes in. Compliance is the active nervous system. It reaches out into every branch and store to ensure the brain's instructions are carried out. This starts with a risk assessment. The compliance team scans operations to spot vulnerabilities, figuring out which distant stores might cut corners on labor laws. Once identified, they build a compliance program, creating rule books and protocols to neutralize those risks before they become legal problems. They also set up anonymous whistleblower hotlines. If a local manager refuses to buy chairs, a worker can send a report straight to the board, ensuring the information isn't blocked by the person breaking the rules. The legal consequences for failing to monitor an organization are high. International laws like the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act carry heavy fines and criminal charges that can end a business overnight. If a rogue employee does break the law, a functioning compliance program acts as a company's primary shield. It provides the legal proof that the organization took every reasonable step to prevent the crime. Modern compliance has evolved into a model often called ESG. It takes the same systems used to prevent legal fines and applies them to how a company treats its people and structures its leadership. This shift focuses on stakeholders. It means the company's success is measured by how it protects the local community and the everyday workers on the floor, not just the wealthy investors. One path leads to bankruptcy and public disgrace when internal failures eventually come to light. The other path uses these checks and balances to build a business that remains stable and trusted for decades. For the worker who just wants a place to rest their feet, the strength of their employer's compliance program is what determines if that chair ever actually arrives. The next time you see a major corporation in the news for a labor dispute or a sudden scandal, you'll recognize the root cause. It was a failure of their internal immune system. The integrity of these hidden internal systems, the governance and the compliance, is what keeps a large company honest and healthy.